Yesterday I was reporting on the raids by the Australian police on the ABC, as well as an early dawn report on a News Corp journalist, and I believe there have been other things going on. Now I just want to turn to something which I was sort of vaguely aware of yesterday, but seems to have come to a head overnight, and this is it. YouTube has announced that it's going to ban quote-unquote hateful videos with quote-unquote supremacist content. So this is what RT is saying. YouTube has updated its hate speech policies and will now ban videos with supremacist content, as well clips promoting certain conspiracy theories. The company, a subsidiary of Google, announced the clampdown on quote-unquote hateful content in a blog post on Wednesday, which you can find. The company had already restricted commenting and sharing features on similar videos in 2017, but the new ban goes one step further. So let's just see what the Western media is saying. This is CNBC. YouTube says it is banning supremacist videos, and this is basically the text. Google-owned YouTube said on Wednesday that it would begin removing videos that contain supremacist content. In a blog post, the company said, "Today, we're taking another step in our hate speech policy by specifically prohibiting videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status." I'm not sure that I've seen too many of those types of videos, not the ones that I look at. The move comes as YouTube continues to grapple with hateful content, misinformation, and abusive videos across the site. I think that the essence is this, misinformation, so-called, in inverted commas. This week, the New York Times reported that YouTube's recommendation system showed videos of underage girls to users who watched erotic movies. Also this week, YouTube said it would not take down videos from conservative YouTube channel that repeatedly criticized Vox journalist Carla Mazza's sexual orientation, even though the videos appeared to violate YouTube's content policies. In the blog post, YouTube also said it was expanding its borderline content policy to more countries outside the US. YouTube considers borderline content to be videos that don't technically violate its policies, but could be used to spread fake news and information. YouTube said it limits the spread of these videos by reducing how often they're recommended to users. Well, that's the public kind of thing, but what has actually happened, I think it'll become clear, is basically they've had a night of the long knives overnight, and they've demonetized a whole raft of YouTubers who well, some of them may be their so-called borderline content, but their borderline content seems to include people like We Are Change, Luke Rudkowski, and Blackstone Intelligence. So, and they don't fall into any of these categories. All they're doing is discussing politics. So one of the people that's been affected by this has been Benny Eastwood in New Zealand. He is under financial attack. YouTube have just removed monetization of my account and super chats. This is right in the middle of his holiday, and he's still recovering from his massive Christchurch coverage. So he's asking for financial help. A lot of people have found that their stuff, their traffic to their sites has been reduced to about a quarter of it what once was. So there's lots and lots of stuff on YouTube, but I'm just going to play a little bit from Jake Morophonius, because I think that this kind of covers. I'll just play about a minute from here.
Driving, and I had just learned about the demonetization that was going on. A lot of channels hit. I got to my hotel late last night and found that, I'm one of them. So if you have not heard yet, people woke up this morning to find that thousands of YouTube channels have been hit hardcore. So before I go on and even talk about this, let me tell you up front, you need to follow me on BitChute. For about a year now, I've been backing up my videos on BitChute, even though I've not really been driving traffic to it. But going forward, if you want to see any Blackstone content, at least the older stuff, you have to follow me on BitChute. And trust me, a lot of YouTubers are going to be going there. So bitchute.com/Morphonios.
Anyway, is that he goes in. I really recommend his this video, because he goes into some of the background, including what happened to him in the past, especially after the Las Vegas attacks. So I'm recommending that. Now I just want to go to a couple of articles which explains quite well what's happening. So this is from Off Guardian, who I follow quite closely. Video sharing platform enforces new laws against quote-unquote extremist content. YouTube has announced that they have changed their community standards to combat extremist content on their platform. This is just the latest step in the war against free speech online. This move comes as no surprise. The press have been laying the groundwork for this for weeks, even months. 3 weeks ago, BuzzFeed reported that YouTube's monetized chat was pushing creators to more extreme content. And just yesterday, it was reported that YouTube's recommend algorithm was sexualizing children. Well, yeah, I would definitely be against that. You cannot move for stories about how bad YouTube is. Given that, it comes as no surprise that the mainstream media are celebrating this latest purge. The Guardian reported YouTube bans videos promoting Nazi ideology. And the Financial Times went with YouTube to ban supremacist videos. Both these headlines are wildly inaccurate, deliberately playing the racism, white supremacy angle in the hopes that people will clap along without reading anything else. Vox was a little more truthful in its headline, reporting YouTube finally banned contents from neo-Nazis, Holocaust deniers, and Sandy Hook skeptics. The Independent, likewise, YouTube to delete thousands of accounts after it bans supremacists, conspiracy theorists, and other harmful users. However, even these headlines, though a touch closer to the whole truth, leave out some really important information. I'm sure not entirely by accident. As much as the media are playing the neo-Nazi hate speech angle, there's far more to it than that. To really dig down into what this means, we need to ignore the media and go straight to the source. This is YouTube's official statement on the matter, posted on their blog. The ban, contrary to the media headlines, are not about racism. They are far more incoherent than that. They are about white supremacist content. And then they give what he calls a delightfully vague description, which I'll post. It's not very long. Videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. Honestly, almost any video you wanted that expresses a political position could be twisted twisted into fitting that they remove content denying that well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary took place. What does well-documented means? It's a deliberately ambiguous phrase. The cited example, the Holocaust and Sandy Hook, are chosen for shock value, but they are only examples, like the Holocaust. What other examples might there be? The Duma gas attack from last year? The poisoning of Sergei Skripal? You can't deny people the right to ask simple questions. Did that really happen? Is the government telling the truth? These are basic questions of journalism. You can't simply pass history off as well documented and put it beyond question. Don't let them cite the Holocaust as an example to bully you into silence. Free speech applies to all topics and all opinions, no matter how, quote, unquote, well documented they are. In an increasingly fake world where government actions are routinely narrative-based rather than reality-based, outlawing the ability to simply say, that didn't happen, you made it up, is incredibly powerful. It doesn't stop there either. Violent incidents are just the start. There are other kinds of harmful content, harmful misinformation, such as videos promoting a phony miracle cure for a serious illness, or claiming the earth is flat. So you're not allowed to be stupid. Again, note the use of extreme examples, flat earth and miracle cures. It's manipulation. What they're talking about is well-documented science. They mean the big three: climate change, GM crops and vaccinations. Questioning any of these will become harmful. People will say, obviously, and questioning climate change, I would say that boils down to questioning the kind of UN fourth industrial revolution meme, not climate change itself, because I mean they lie about climate change constantly. People will say, obviously people shouldn't be allowed to question vaccination, but they're wrong. People must be allowed to question everything. I couldn't agree more. That's what free speech means. Imagine this was 70 years ago. Corporate consensus then was that smoking was good for you. Studies saying otherwise would have been described as harmful misinformation that was shaking public confidence in our industry. Whether censoring lies or censoring truth, censorship serves the same agenda, protecting authority. What is harmful content? Harmful content is anything that attacks the well-documented official consensus. For that matter, what is hate speech? The phrase is used half a dozen times in the statement, but it can mean all sorts of things. Critics giving bad reviews to Star Wars, The Last Jedi, or the Ghostbusters remake were described as misogynist just because the main characters were women. While poorly reviewing films with a female or an ethnic minority main character be free hate speech too. And it's a very, very good article, and I recommend that you go there, and I'm going to post it on my blog once I'm able to post there, which at the moment I'm not. And the last thing I'm going to show is this another article by someone, Sparta Report, I don't know who they are, on the YouTube launches the Vox Adpocalypse. So Vox media journalist Carlo Mazza began an effort to get conservative comedian Steven Crowder banned from YouTube. Carlo Mazza produces strike-through for Vox and evidently has gotten tired of Crowder just fact-checking the show. I mean, he's not my cup of tea, but getting someone banned because you don't like what they're saying, yeah, well, I mean, that's quite pathetic, and I think this guy is just being used as the excuse. So I'm not going to go through this article. I'm going to leave it to you to read for yourself. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Okay. Yeah, I can't really add anything to that that Off Guardian article, so I won't even try. And so I'll just leave it at that. I'm sure there's going to be more coming on this. So that's me from Seymour Rocks, down under.